And we're back. I am Joe.
And I'm Kokoy.
Together we are
TITOS with ukuleles. Joe, this is a kind of a tough one for this episode because what I have here is a seemingly nice ukulele, but I have a couple of things that I want to share with our viewers.
this nice ukulele.
and about this kind of ukulele. You see, what we have here is a very mystical ukulele. Rather, all right. Enough of that. It's a rather mysterious ukulele. For one thing, it kind of sounds different from what people describe it to be. So, first of all, this is a beautiful Fender. It's a Fender ukulele in tenor size. It's called the Dhani Harrison's limited edition because this was specifically designed by and for Dhani Harrison. Do you know who Dhani Harrison is?
The son of George Harrison.
Yes, the son of George Harrison, which is a famous ukulele collector as well.
Okay, tell me about this. So
what we have here on basic specs is an avant-call body. It looks like its body's top side and back. You have a fingerboard that is made of walnut, which also I think the bridge can be walnut, which is a no tie. One of the things that we like to comment about no tie is that basically you have to slip in a knotted end. No? Then it has the unique Fender Stratocaster headstock, which is their new take on their ukuleles, because previously they would put a Telecaster headstock. So now it's they're beginning to like this. It has a nice Clouson designed tuners or machine heads, and of course it has an FEU1 U01 piezo preamp. So we're assuming that the piezo, of course, is undersaddle piezo. Then you have a preamp that has a tuner, built-in tuner, which is good, powered by button batteries, as well as just a treble and a volume. So those are the basics about this ukulele. And
what about the graphics on it? Okay, so
yes, Dhani Harrison, of course, famed for being the son of George Harrison, which I assume named Dhani during his India days, where he would play the sitar and then began collecting ukuleles, is into that mystical theme. So on both the colors, like this one comes in this kind of nice blue. There's another one that's kind of more of taupe or a little bit greenish blue. Now, everywhere in the body has sort of like a mystic Asian theme, like this nice eye design over there, which is a laser engraved into the wood. Then, of course, the fingerboard, instead of regular markers, it also has a little bit of an Asian theme. So overall, it's a nice, beautiful looking guitar. Okay. It has everything that I like about
guitar?
it. Ukulele. Yeah, I keep thinking about George Harrison is one.
Okay, so I noticed that they've also lasered here.
Yes,
Dhani's name,
Dhani's signature. If you go to the website of Fender and look this up, he has his own personal sharing about how he ended up with this design.
Okay, I have a few questions. Number one, are these the original strings?
No, these are not the original strings. Usually you'd have the standard white strings from Fender. What I did is my usual, we would put a low G on this one, which right now, because of the nature of this being a nose tie bridge, I did put a Ernie ball head.
I want to show them up close what a no tie bridge.
Okay, a no tie bridge.
So as you can see, it's essentially just slots.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the irony is about it that you still have to tie the knot that goes to hook that up.
I think no tie refers to you don't have to tie a knot around the bridge itself. Actually, it's less complicated just to tie a small knot. Or in this case, if you're using Ernie ball strings, there's already something at the end of the string, and you just slip it in there and it stays in place. One thing I noticed, Kokoy, this is a bit thinner than our usual tenors.
Oh yes, one of the nice things, or yes, in a way, it's one of the nice things that Dhani did put in the design is that he made the ukulele to play like his styles and to his comfort. So he made it like a 3/4 size in terms of thin. Even if you still have the standard tenor body, it is actually thinner. So it's actually nice to hold, and relatively comfortable instruments. And one of the things that I will mention about this is that this was meant to be plugged in, because of the one it's comfortable to hold. But if you notice how do you feel about the sound being thinner, right?
Yeah. Okay, because it's so thin, it lacks projection.
True.
But then again, it was meant to be plugged in, and this is supposed to shine once plugged in. But I know the backstory.
Yes, we tested this the moment we got this, brand new. When we tested it, one of the things that I noticed that the sound did kind of feel flat and rather rattly. I don't know if it's a defect on the unit that I got, but since I got it brand new, there are a couple of things that I had to do with this. But first, before getting into the sound, which will bring us to some of the sound samples later on of the a little bit more improved Dhani ukulele, is that one of the other points that you have to check on this kind of, because Fender in the last few years has been developing more commercialized instruments, meaning they've been using a lot of commercial techniques, one of which again is the laser etching. And if I were to put my own comments on this, there are a couple of things that I would rather not prefer. It is lovely to look at, but when you are handling this thing, one thing, when dealing with laser etching at any point, because it's so fine and shallow, often than not the material comes up rough on the etching, and this is something that they've been doing for other, in a way, cheaper instruments all over Asia to laser etch a design. So in this sense, when you're playing, especially if you try to play it with your shirt, it's kind of gonna
it
rough
catches
up.
a little.
It catches up.
Yeah. Okay.
And did you notice anything about the fret markers?
Okay. That's not an inlay. That's painted.
Okay, this is my theory on this inlay, because it's not in any description, nor anyone on YouTube except for us will have to describe it this way. Okay, is that it seems like you have a nice poorly inlay, right? You think it's an inlay. Of course, most often than not these days, inlays are laser etched, right? Then they put the material. However, in this case, I'm beginning to feel that what happened is that you have a laser etched inlay which creates the grooves. Then they filled it up with some substance. It's not wood, because the only way I can describe it is either some sort of a wood filler or paint, because it bleeds into the grain of the wood. So how can that be? So you have a laser etch.
Won't this eventually fade or wear off when you have to dress the fretboard?
Well, that's something I am concerned about, but I feel that it might have. What I'm saying about how it looks like it's like paint is because anyone who has tried to clean a fretboard with the wrong ooze or wrong paste will immediately realize that if you put in a cleaning paste that's kind of a whitish, it will stick and remain in the holes and the little crevices of the wood, right? In the grain. So what happens here is, yes, that's what I'm seeing, is like some of the grain of the wood have that white material that is used for the inlay. So that means the inlay is either some sort of wood filler or they painted on it. I'm assuming and hoping that it's not paint, so that if you scratch that, you're just taking a little bit of the wood filler, but will still remain a little bit in there. It does have a nice fake abalone inlay. Yeah, I think they probably mentioned that.
Yeah, but I think a lot of the ukes now will have a fake decal inlay.
Yeah, that looks like a decal. We're comparing it with the old-fashioned inlays, and this looks like painted on. Which brings me to my next concern. Remember when I said that these guys have started adapting laser etching? Okay, so they laser etched the back, right? What I don't like about this is that, when you build an instrument and you have something like finish on the top, normally you'd like to finish and paint the finish on the top, right? So what Fender did here, and what you might not see, something that might not appear in camera as well, is that when I look into this thing, the way that they put the bridge on is not over a painted surface, nor did they paint it after the bridge is on. What looks like is that there's a paint on the bridge, then they kind of routed out or scratched out the paint underneath to put the bridge on. I mean, the only thing I'm thinking about is that if there's better glue adhesion if there's pure wood to wood. But the problem is, it's kind of a machine cut, and once your bridge starts lifting, or even right now that it's not lifting, if you look underneath the bridge, you'd actually see
It's not a
bare
gap.
wood. It looks like a gap, but it makes it looks like a gap. So in terms of finishes, as a luthier myself, I don't like that. It's like saying that you kind of put a template and you just slap it in there, right? I mean, kind of a sloppy job there,
Okay.
Fender.
Now, okay. Let's go back to why the drama.
Yeah,
of
the
this.
drama of this is that, okay.
Let's
So
talk about the pickup.
this is a $350 ukulele.
And what do you expect for $350?
You expect something that's better than a $50 ukulele. Okay, this is a $350 ukulele. That is no peanuts for a lot of people, right? So you expect this to be. I've had a couple of ukuleles pass my way from Fender that I absolutely like. I like my Montesino, which someday we will be reviewing. That's one of the best ukuleles I have. I did have a very limited edition as well, sort of more special edition Nohea, made for another artist, Jimmy Stafford of The Train. Okay, now those are fantastic ukuleles. They have good sound, except my Montecito does not have a pickup, but my old Nohea had a undersaddled pickup with Fishman in-hole preamp, right? So this one does have Fender design, not Fishman. Fender designed preamp connected to what I assume was an undersaddle. But when I started plugging it in, no matter what amp I use, it kind of sounded very flat. So I started adjusting the treble thing. Didn't quite improve. It actually made it worse when I brought up the treble. When I say flat or off, is that just imagine this. It's like listening to your MP3s versus vinyl. When you listen to the MP3, it sounds so flat. Your trebles kind of like to scratches above like your mids and whatever. Okay, in technical sense, it just really sounds like you're listening on an ear can, right? I couldn't figure out why. So what I did was to
Take it
try
apart.
to take it apart. Why not? This is only a $350 ukulele.
Only?
Only. So I took it apart. I took out the saddle, okay, which I assume is bone or to that effect. It's not bad. But when I looked into it, what you would see, okay, as discussed in one of our previous episodes about piezo pickup, that you have two types. You have a bar type, which is a straight metal bar,
And then there's the wire.
and the wire. Okay, what this has is a bar type, of course. That's given. Hopefully, that makes it more stable. Now, the bar type they had was covered with rubber coating, right? Okay, but when I opened it up, okay, this is a straight, honest review. Okay, so Fender, you should not get mad because this is a customer's review. When I realized that when I opened this up, okay, the bar saddle was not close to the quality of the one that we installed on our ukuleles, right? First of all, now when I took it apart, I realized this might actually be the one causing the sound. When I took it apart, it's honestly, without any joke, It looks like something you'd buy for like less than $5 on Amazon or something, or on our local our platforms. No, I mean it's that kind of bar type that you'd see on the cheap. Now, I'm not saying that Fender was using that low quality, maybe the low quality copies from that, but definitely it was not very good quality. First of all, I spliced it up. Okay, I spliced up the pickup on a $350 ukulele. I spliced it up to see what kind of why it was rattling, because maybe it was the coating. And when I did, I realized, okay, we'll show you some pictures of what it looked like when I spliced it up over here. There you see, do you think it's $350? Right? Now, when I splice it up, it does have that copper wire that you usually find in a piezo pickup, but the back quality wasn't as good. I mean, I even have that kind of pickup.
Okay, so you were full of complaints while working on this pickup. You wanted to make it sound better.
So
amplified.
yes. So I did put up I put up a more or less $10 to $20 bar pickup. That's just the piezo, not the preamp. Okay, so just to test if it's the piezo.
And
Then once it hooks up to the preamp, yes, it did kind of improve. Another thing you should notice, by the way, especially when you buy this from a store, is that when you buy any pickups with power, check the batteries, because sometimes the batteries can be the issue. So that's another thing I had to check. So put in fresh batteries. It improved it by maybe 10%.
For $350, personally, I don't spend that much on ukes. Okay, for me, $200 is a very, very expensive ukulele. But for $350 Fender, we expect something better.
Well, now, okay, so in a way, I've improved on this. It's just like Fender changing pickups. When you buy your electric guitar, then you upgrade your pickups to something better. So this is basically a Dhani special limited edition that I've upgraded the pickups.
Okay, look. Here's the thing. For you make guitars, you can do this on your own. If
Yes.
the common person had to improve upon this, how much would they have spent on parts and labor, especially the labor?
Well, labor, of course, is relative.
Yeah,
if
but-
you were
but
in
see-
the US, it would have been expensive.
This is what makes this unfair.
However,
to
of
the
course,
buyer.
if you were in the US, which is different from people in Asia, is that if you had complaint like I
You
did,
could return it.
You could return it. Here in Asia, that's a little bit difficult. Not even from the store that I bought it from, because these stores only stock up maybe one or two of these. So once one color is out, there's no replacement. So what will they replace it with, right?
Yeah. Okay, so does it sound better now after all the work you put in?
Well, okay, I've put in again. What we are going to do is we're going to demonstrate now how it sounds, because I will never share. I don't want to share how it sounded before. One, because I was so upset and I did the hack job immediately. But now we are going to test this so that you will now hear the sound of what it basically can sound like. I mean, again, I could have had a defective unit. I could have had something different. But to test this out, we're going to plug it into a relatively also expensive busker from Alto. So just to to dispute whether it was my amp or not. So, okay, so we're going to run this through a busker. Okay, and so you will listen to the sound itself coming from now the upgraded piezo pickup. Okay, so let's share the sound sample now. Okay, Joe. That was a sound sample from the busker. Now the busker itself is a $500 busker. Again, if you really want to sound well, you have to spend like Dhani, right?
Okay, so you were telling me all about this, all your complaints while you were working on this. And yeah,
Yes.
granted, it could have been a bad copy. Okay, we would have to get our hands on another uke just like this, well, several more just to know for sure. But as is for this unit, for me, after all of those stories from you, this is something I would either buy to return or buy, and knowingly I would need to work on it. Like how some people buy junker cars to work on.
Well, that's one. Yes, sir. That's one way of looking at it. The other way, of course, is that if you have, not like most people have, good pedals or good amplifiers, then you would have neglected the sound difference. What I initially experienced was when I ran it through, I didn't run it through with the busker, but that would have just accentuated whatever sound I complained about. Second is like you do have to, in any setup, but not at this range of price, by the way, you do have to just blend your trebles, because this doesn't have the 3-band that usually you find in most ukuleles. This only has treble. So I had to tone it down to half just to get a good sound out of it. My volume, if it's too much, it's really gonna kind of, in a way, break. I mean, close to that breaking point. So my comment on this is that it's a very strange combination between the piezo line, which again, the original was cheap. I'm not gonna lie about it, Fender. I know it was cheap. The pickup, the preamp is not Fishman or probably a co-designed, but it's still not premium for this kind of price. Because for this kind of price on any other brand like Kale, you could have had the Fishman.
Okay, look, as is when you got it, before you put all of the work into it, would you have recommended this to other people to buy?
Okay, now on that comment, why did I buy this? Okay, first of all, I do like Fender. Okay, let's give it that. Okay, that's why I'm complaining, because guys, I love you guys. I like Fender. The design is wonderful. You could have done a little bit better on the laser etching. Also on the inlays. We could have put actual inlays. But overall, this was designed as a plugged-in performer. Again, I have to emphasize that, because as a practice ukulele, it only sounds, it's like 1/4 less. It's a 3/4 thinner body, so you just assume the sound projection is also kind of less. But then if you add that, when you plug it in, it kind of becomes a semi-hollow for those guitar enthusiasts. So for that matter, design-wise, I like the color, I like the overall theme. That's why I got it also in this color instead of the lighter blue. But then that's why I feel disappointed about the sound, because you'd expect, having had a couple of Fender ukuleles, or Kala and Lanikai with pickups, you'd expect that for that price range, the pickup would at least sound relatively good. But honestly, we did have that sound sample from the previous episodes regarding our Philippine-made ukuleles. Then we put the pickups in them, and etc., or the other ukuleles. In a way that even sounded better, and the whole setup was kind of cheaper. So when you did ask me how much this would have cost with the additional upgrades, if you had bought this thing for $350, be prepared to add at least another $50 to make it sound a little better, both either upgrading your amp or pedal, and also upgrading maybe your piezo. So it's really a tough sell at that point.
It's a money pit.
It can be a money pit, but if this is the design you like, then yeah. Fender's the only one who really does the electric guitar headstock pretty well. So yeah, those are my comments. Dhani, if you ever see this episode, I know you meant well, But the execution was a rather, I think your dad will be rolling in his grave. I'm sorry.
Could have been better.
Yeah, could have been better, So with that, this is an honest review. Once again, we do honest reviews over here. Nothing much about it. Would I recommend? Would I recommend you buying this? First, try it out. Try it out in a store. Test out whether the pickup was installed properly. And if you still continue to like it that way, again, when you can't perform, you form. And this kind of looks good. Yeah, this kind of looks good. Okay, you can't doubt that. This looks good. I like the kind of indigo type blue that you have here. There's some mystical name to this blue. This thing also caught me because I prefer this design rather than the other color in this model. But again, things could have been improved, especially coming from Fender. So those are a few things that I can tell about this Dhani Harrison limited edition Fender tenor ukulele.
Okay, now guys, I've said it before, I've said it again. If you like our videos, please like and subscribe. Really keeps us going to produce this content.
Yes, and we will continue producing these honest contents for you. Till then, our next episode, see you guys.